Hello and welcome, authors and aspiring authors. I'm Lilia and I'm very excited to introduce this series on writing and publishing nonfiction books. Now, I happen to believe, if you've heard this saying, everybody has a book in them. And I happen to believe that that is the truth, especially when it comes to writing nonfiction books. And the reason is that there is something that you have learned or that you either know or know how to do in the course of your lifetime that can be of benefit to others. And that's what nonfiction books are. They're really serve to educate, inform, teach new skills, offer new knowledge. And so in any event, and it's usually from the unique perspective of the author. And so as we go forward, we're going to be talking about all of the various aspects of writing and publishing a nonfiction book. Now, let me give you a little bit of background in terms of how I came to write nonfiction books. First and foremost, my passion for writing surfaced in my life as a result of a creative writing course that I took my freshman year in college. And even though I discovered my passion for writing, the next time that writing would resurface in my life is when I was in law school a few years later. I started and would allow myself only to read nonfiction books that were in the area of self-help, self-improvement, personal growth, development, transformation, all of those. And I fell in love with that type of content and with the authors that were writing that type of content. Then the next time that writing would resurface is when I was leaving a job that I loved to stay at home with my kids. And the day before I left, a colleague came into my office and asked me, if you weren't doing this type of work, what would you most like to be doing? Well, I immediately responded, without hesitation, I would be a writer. The next day, as a going away gift, my colleague gave me books on writing and publishing. And it turned out to be one of the best gifts I would ever receive because it redirected my path in life. After that, I started researching everything I could on the topics of writing and publishing. And I continued to become involved in the area of writing and publishing. And specifically, I joined writing groups, I took workshops, and as I said, I did a lot of research to try and learn everything that was associated with writing and publishing. Then, the actual first book that I wrote arose from the loss of a friend to cancer. It was that one event that took me from aspiring to be a writer to being inspired to be a writer and author. And what happened was my friend had become ill and had been diagnosed with cancer. And 6 months later, she passed away. She passed away while I was away at a family reunion out of town. And when we returned, my sister informed me that my friend, who lived about 100 miles away, had succumbed to her illness and had passed away. And we were very sad to hear the news. And I always had the hope that she would overcome and beat cancer. But that's not the way things turned out. And at the time, I had a regret, a very deep-seated regret, that I didn't tell my friend how I felt about her while she was here and still alive. So I ended up writing a letter telling my friend how I felt about her and hoping that somehow, somewhere, wherever she was, my words would make their way to her. And so then I felt an urgency to communicate to others the importance of telling loved ones how you feel, how much they've meant to you, and why before they or you are gone. And so anyway, that's what launched my first book, The Most Important Letter You Will Ever Write. And again, it's basically about telling loved ones how you feel before it's too late. And I chose a process for writing a letter versus telling someone face to face, because it can be awkward and daunting to do that with someone. We live in a society where we don't normally do that. Things are getting better. We're making progress in that, but we don't necessarily feel comfortable doing that just out of the blue with someone that we love. And so anyway, I hope that you will be joining me for the remainder of the sessions. Please feel free to comment and ask any questions, and I look forward to meeting with you regularly.